Welcome to the Leadership Initiative course that I built this term using Canvas, an LMS that I selected. So the entire course that we've completed over the last 10 weeks has been built around building an LMS. So we first investigated the requirements and then selected the best LMS based on those requirements. Next, we populated our LMS with items built from last term when we were kind of coming up with our modules. And so this is kind of what it did look like, just to give you an idea. And then from there, we created some summative assessments, created some rubrics, built some content for learning and content for engagement, and then created some overview pages. So this is going to be a quick kind of overview of what I've created this term. So this is the welcome page. I've added information about how to navigate Canvas. Next, learners can access the syllabus, and so the syllabus has an overview, a list of objectives, and I've decided to build a Prezi to kind of show the design model of this course. So learners can click on any module to learn more about it, and so they can just simply click somewhere, and then when they click outside of the circle, they can go back. If they click the next arrows, then they can just learn directly about the overall outcomes for the course. So that's something that I added today. Course completion, course content, assignments, and then I also added a Prezi that I built last term about my rules of engagement. Just thought that it would be a great opportunity for learners to get to know me and my expectations and kind of my understanding around building the course like I did. So there are 8 modules in this course. I'm going to go over the first one in detail just to kind of show you what all the different components are, and then I'll probably go through it fairly quickly because everything's kind of cookie cutter after that. But each module has an overview. The overview includes a brief description of what we'll be looking at within the overview, a panoramic picture of some kind of metaphor that I've used to relate that specific module to the learning content, a caption so that learners can kind of see where I was going with the metaphor, module outline, and module objectives. After the overview is the content page. So this content is typically interactive. However, not all of my pages I have the chance to build interactive content. However, that's something to think about moving forward. So this is an eMaze presentation that I built last term. I've embedded a interactive leadership style quiz. This is a quiz from an external site. However, I was able to embed it, and so learners are able to take this quiz and learn about their leadership style. The next page is the activity and discussion page. For every activity and discussion page within each module, I've created a thumbnail of the original graphic that was embedded into the overview. I felt that this was a way to kind of bring things full circle for the learners. So you can feel free to browse those at your leisure. And then finally is the wrap-up page. The wrap-up page includes links to all of the pages within the module, just to double check that the learners have done everything within this module that they needed to do. And then I can statements, which are the module objectives. So I thought that this was a good way for the learners to really verify that they have learned what they needed to learn within the module. Each picture within the wrap-up page is a colorful graphic somewhat related to the overview page, but a little bit different. So these are just kind of like rewards or Easter eggs kind of planted throughout the module wrap-up pages, just as a reward for the learners. So the next module is Star Wars themed. Again, we have all of the same features from the first overview. And next is the content page. I've added a funny little 5-second video, a couple of related articles, and then this term I built this pictograph, which is a learning content piece. And so if learners are able to read and digest this information, then they will successfully pass the quiz, which is the summative assessment for this module. Again, I have a little thumbnail here for the assignment and the quiz. The wrap-up page contains a colorful image. The sandwich modules 2 through 7 all contain black and white overview pages, and so I felt that the wrap-up pages should be colorful, kind of fun pages. Easter eggs for the learners. Module 3, again, black and white, outline, objectives. The content for this module I created using Articulate Storyline, so it's very interactive, and the learners can kind of learn different things about it. And then at the end, once they've clicked on all of these items and interacted with them, they can take a quiz. So there's also a communication style quiz, which is again an external feature that I've embedded into this content page. A group assignment page, which just kind of gives the overall idea of what the group of assignments is about. And then the actual activity for this module, a thumbnail, some instructions, some rubrics, and then the wrap-up page. So Yael suggested that I give my learners a bouquet of flowers for finalizing or completing the module, so that was fun. Module 4, again, the same thing, black and white picture, outline, and objectives. A little bit of content with a video that explains the relationship of the metaphor that I've chosen for this module. The group assignment overview page, and then the module 4 assignment within that group of assignments. A wrap-up page with a colorful related image to the overview. And module 5. This is another piece that I've built with Articulate Storyline just to get the learners engaged in thinking about the assignment that they will be doing, which is building an organizational chart. And so on and so forth. So each of these modules all kind of ties in together, which is why I thought that it was so important to build a Prezi, just kind of demonstrating that instructional design and the idea behind it, because there are a lot of group multi-module assignments, and so I thought that if the learners were able to kind of visualize where I was going and what they need to be doing, it'll be easier for them to kind of set themselves up for success. So several of these assignments do have rubrics. This is the summative assessment for the multi-module group activity, and so I've added the thumbnails back in because it's been several modules since we've been to module 3 as well as 4, and so this just kind of describes to the learners what kind of reminds them what we've been learning about and how they can kind of wrap it into the summative assessment. And then finally, module 8. This also begins with a color picture, just like the introductory overview page did. Some content, again, a page that I would love to add some interaction to. The final multi-module activity for module 8. And then the summative assessment for those staged activities. So again, a couple of thumbnails to remind them. And finally, the last page is a Dr. Seuss picture, which is related to not only the overview for Module 8, but also the theme for the introduction, and it ties it all back into the home page, and so it's all hot air balloons, kind of beginning, middle, and end. So that is my LMS. I've also built at the very bottom of my modules pages. I've also created an assessments kind of module type um, landing page, although it's not a module. It just kind of keeps all of the assessments in one spot so that the learners can quickly access them if they don't want to be clicking on assignments or anything. So I thought maybe more ways to access this information would be easier for the learners. Again, I've added the Prezi with the design model that I've built, the logic model. And so they can scroll through and actually like view all of the summative assessments. So that was everything that I built this term, which is super impressive and looks way different than the original, which was just a couple of text boxes. Um, so I am pretty proud of kind of where I've been and where I've come from and how far I've learned this term. Absolutely. Um, and I am looking forward to viewing everybody else's overviews. So thanks for the great term.